Today we're going to attempt to install this Whirlpool 14,000 into the garage here. I'm hoping this is simple. I think it should be, but wouldn't be the first time something simple was not simple. So first we're going to clear out the area. I'll get those tables out of the way, move that wood. Actually we're going to use that wood, move the ladder so we can access the window easier. And then we'll clean the window and then we'll get started. See, here we go. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Moving these tables should have been simple, but it's not. We'll get Dennis to help us clean out the window. That was considerably easier than expected. So we got to give a good clean out in here as well. Get this track all cleaned out because this is where the machine's going to sit. Yeah, that can hold it. That's plenty strong. Okay, so the first thing we have to do now is we got to get this piece of plywood cut down to the size of the window where it needs the same concept as what I used over there. I wish I had the foresight to have traced that before I put it in, but at the time I had no idea. So I gotta go get some measuring equipment and hope I can perform this accurately. It's like a 21 3/8 opening. Gosh, I wish I had one that was in centimeters. I hate inches. 21. Yeah, that's like 21 3/8 by just shy of 32. Now, if we had millimeters, it would be simple, but now we've got to introduce some kind of crazy fraction, and it's going to end up being like 31 and maybe 7/8. Probably 31 3/4 is good enough. So let's we'll get these workbenches set up. We'll trace this out and see what we can do here. Bench is kind of jammed. It's not good. This is, I think this is 1/2 inch. Yeah, this 1/2 inch. This obviously is not strong enough to support the conditioner by itself. So we're going to have to reinforce the top somehow, which is fine. That shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so now we're going to cut this to size. There's a couple of screw holes in this because this come from, actually there's a lot of screw holes in this cheese. Is this piece any better? Yeah, there's less screw holes in this piece. There's screw holes because this come from the old thing downstairs where those nasty bugs were. Here's the measurements. You just need to copy over these measurements and we can switch to the other piece. Okay, so now we have another problem. We might have to go back to the other piece because this one is cut. Oh, cockamine, because I was just worried about getting it off the wall, not really reusing it for something precise. Oh, that's not good. We're going to have to vacuum the floor very carefully when we're done with this. Whereas this piece, we have a straight edge on the bottom and we have a straight edge on the side. So we have to go back to the original piece and I'll just have to plug up the holes. Or I could go to the store and buy a new piece, but nope, I don't have any money left. Not this month. I just bought the pellets. So we have to work with what's on hand. So, alright. So we need 21 and just a little more than a quarter. Jeez, it's hot. I'm sweating. I'm putting these fans on. make some cuts. Batteries on charge because the soil goes really quick. Now to check the fit, we need to go over to the window here, and this piece of wood needs to fit into the window. Side is good, that's the stock cut. So we'll just take a little bit off on the right, starting about halfway up. fitting now. Let's see how it fits the best, like this or the other way. Like this. This is a better fit. So now what we have to do is we gotta slip the chassis back in and see how it sits on the bottom here, and then we'll have to trace the chassis onto the wood with a starting point not of the bottom but of here. This is where it gets a little bit tricky to trace that. Because when we put the chassis down on here to to trace this, we have to start as if the chassis was going to be sitting here, because it is. And this is going to affect our vertical to where it ends up at the top, because this really is bringing it about a ½ inch higher. Okay. That should be the worst part, at least for me. Because that was pure measuring. Everything else should be fairly easy. We're going to get lucky on the outside portion. I'll explain that in a minute. It's going to be a very tricky cut and it might break. But we'll do the second piece so it's not going to break out. So here we have that. So we're going to have to put little notches there for these bolts to pass through. Or we could just start above the bolt. Right about there. Maybe we'll do that.
we can always put a bead of caulk around this once it's in place, because this ain't coming out. So if it's not perfectly precise here, I don't really care, because it doesn't matter. We're going to cut this bottom part first. That's going to be the most delicate cut. Then we'll do the top. And then we'll go on the sides. bit short. Sure. Over on the right side, we're a little bit short on the top. This is going to be a very difficult cut. It might break. We got to start about here. Okay, like this. So now what we have to do is we got to get this into the window, and we're going to have to figure out how to secure this without going down too far on the top to block it. This is going to sit in the window like this. Let's get all this dust off of here first. Having this exhaust fan here in the garage is great for these kind of projects because it just takes all this dust right away. So what we have to do is we need to go on the outside and we have to secure some kind of board up at the top that this will screw to. And we'll have to come on the inside and put something else on the inside to prevent this from going to to strengthen this up top here. That's going to be our weakness, is that right there. So let me see what kind of wood I have on hand and what we can use to do that. I just noticed something that's going to produce quite a problem. Those louvers on this guard face outwards, which means the machine has to be slid in from the outside. So we might have to take that top piece off of there. I don't know, that's gonna be a problem. You might have to take that top piece off to get it in. What a stupid design. Well, we gotta cut a 2x4 the length of the top. And then we're gonna have to cut that 2x4 lengthwise, which is kind of difficult. Make a measurement. It's true, I don't have a measurement. Just mark the board. That is so ridiculous. I can't believe it's like that. Okay, now we're going to do something absolutely ridiculous. We have to cut this 2x4 down to about 2x3. this piece of wood to the top of there, and then we'll have to do something to hold it to the inside as well to get the strength. And then we'll start playing with how to fit this in there. And this might be a problem. It really might be. I did not expect to not be able to slide it in through the back, coming through the front. Who the heck slides in the air conditioner from the back? It's stupid. Unless the thing is only meant to be a window, I don't know. I don't have the document for it. Ugh. I think so that the battery ran out of charge. Oh no, the battery overheated. I'll get the other one. Fortunately, these charge up pretty quick. Took a lot of electricity to cut that 2x4 down the middle like that. I think that's good the way it is, so we'll add a few more screws. And in the top parts, what we're going to have to do is grab it over here. We'll put a block here and then screw the block to that, and it'll give it the strength that we need. I should be drilling holes for all these. That got ugly up. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll take we'll cut 2 blocks. Now we'll put 2 blocks up here like this to hold onto the inside of the windowsill, and then we'll grab this board with a couple long screws, and that'll give us the strength we need to hold the conditioner. So we need like 3-inch screws probably for this. These are 3 1/8-inch rugged structural screws. It should work. Now we're going to have a battery issue here because I need to use the saw again.
And I know that this battery is barely charged up.
What the heck was that funny noise? I have something else I can do if we got to take a break and let it charge up. So, this, we need to cut this right about maybe here. It don't need much. It's a small piece. Get one for either side.
Oh, the camera battery's almost out too.
I got more of those than 2 batteries. That got a lot of charge in there considering it was only on charge for a few minutes.
Okay, let's see how these pieces fit.
That's pretty good. We are going to need one additional piece, which is going to be some kind of a shim. We need some kind of a shim there. About 1/4 inch maybe? Yeah, 1/4 inch. So we need 2 1/4 inch pieces. Now I'm going to have to get the chop saw out because this is more precise.
Okay, so let's make one cut that's clean onto this board.
Then I'll measure the 1/4 inch on 2 pieces.
I'm gonna have to take a break and do something else while these batteries charge up. I guess I could try this overheated battery again. It's cooled off now. Oh, it's out too. Alright, we'll take a break. The batteries have been charging up for about 15 minutes now, 20 minutes maybe. So we should be able to get something out of it. Really just need this one more cut. Okay, so let's see how this works.
Actually, that's pretty good. So now we'll just drill a hole through here, maybe probably just one. If we go this way, I guess we could do two. So we'll drill through 2 holes through here. And put one of those, or I guess 2 of those screws. I'm going to use these screws. We're going to need a decent sized hole in this first so that the screw can spin in here. And then we'll drill through to the other side so it doesn't split with a smaller bit.
Oh, there's that stupid wood beam. I hate that thing. Get away from my building. We'll drill somewhere else. I'm tired of that thing. It's putting holes over the fence. And the daggone fence is going to fall over. That didn't work too good. That just split. That doesn't really matter to me. Whatever.
It's not working the way that I had expected it to at all. This even longer? Yeah, actually, it's getting a decent grab on there. Alright, that seems to be working pretty good. That's sturdy. Now we have to play the fun part with the chassis. I have no idea how we're going to get this chassis in here. I'm going to try and just slip it in from the outside. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll go in easily. Sometimes things go easy. No such luck. We're gonna have to remove that top bar, which all things considered is not a big deal. Gotta support it from the back to hold it up. See if I got a pole or something that's the right height. Getting that piece back on is going to be quite the challenge. I really hope that I can reach this. I might have to move all these ladders out of the way. This. This is going to be pretty much impossible because this is not allowing me to tilt up far enough. Oh. Is it? Okay, never mind. Cancel that. I think I can actually get it. I can't see though, so it's going to take me quite a few tries to get this lined up right. That's okay, but still wish you been a few ones. We'll get it. This is not fun. This part is not fun at all. I wonder if I should just put this on backwards. It would make it a million times easier. And it might make it more level anyways. I don't think I'm gonna get it like this. This is too difficult. The angle is just making it physically impossible to see or access the screws. If we install it the other way, turn this around, I think I can screw it in. This is not going to be holding much weight anyways. Yeah, I can screw it in this way, so let's see if we can make it work this way. If not, then we'll have to try to get it again, but let's try this way and see if this works. Probably have to tighten with a ratchet. There's no screwdriver fit in there. don't think that that's the right leveling. Looks off to me. Let's see, we get a level. The window was all sorts of screwed up. Huh, it's actually, I think it's okay. I'll live with that to save another 25 minutes of aggravation. That's pretty much level on the nose. So that just goes to show how screwed up how unlevel the side of the house is and the window is and everything else is. Oh, good grief. Alright. I think I can screw in these screws. Probably with a ratchet now. Oh, I wonder what is side to side. It's leaning towards the right, which actually is good because that's where the drain hole is. It's just barely off anyways. And then we could screw this to the top just to give it a little more security. It does have two holes that we could put a screw through right quick. It's only going to be holding on the, what are we holding? Let me see where it's going to grab. If it's only holding the plywood, then it's worthless. No, I think it'll grab. I'm going to put some screws there. I think it only runs the plywood. Oh well. That one grabs. That's fine. It's not going to come forward. Meaning it's going to come out. Alright, it's pretty secure. And I mean, short from hairline cracks around the case on the sides. Pretty good fit too. Just fill it in with a bead of caulk and we're good. Go in that hole. Gnats or something could get in there. Yeah, that's pretty good. So when I said we got lucky from the outside, what I was talking about is, for now, when we do something better, having this to rest it on. Because if you put this in the ground, it's just going to go down over time. If we sit that on there like that, it'll hold it pretty good. So we just need to cut about an inch off of this. And for now, that's how I'll set it up. Eventually, maybe I'll put something on here, like an angle like that, hold it up against the windowsill. I don't know, I don't like the integrity of this, so I'm not really sure I want to do that. Could also just put a 2x4 on the side there, it'd be a little bit less obvious. Maybe we'll do that instead. I can live with that for now. And once the flowers grow up, those get taller, 3-4 feet. They'll hide most of it anyways. Okay, now we get to slide it in. And yes, I'm going to do it by myself. Apparently this extra ground wire is supposed to attach to the chassis. Now why the chassis would not bind through the pan, I have no idea, but we'll just put it back. Looks like this just pulled out. Not super interested in going back. I think I'm just going to wrap the wire around the stud and bolt it back in. I might have to finally move these ladders because trying to lift it that far over is going to be a little bit difficult. What the heck? That's a... What? I could do this from the outside. Apparently there's just something on the other side. They're both on the outside. So Frank Bell Smith could just cut the wire and iron the earphones.
Umbrella Freak Show. One of the umbrellas from. Alright, here we go. So what I'll probably do is I'm going to put the ladder here, and if I can't get it in one shot, I will use the ladder steps to go up one notch at a time until I got it that high. Alright, so we're most of the way there. Just take a quick break for a minute. Kind of have a lull here. We can just relax for a second. I really like this handle here, it's pretty cool. It's not going to be helpful in this case though. Alright, here we go. Wasn't too bad. Just go slow, take it step by step, and don't panic. It did get caught. When I first started, it got caught, and you might want to panic when it does that, because, oh, what am I going to do? I can't get it, I can't get it. You just pull it back a couple inches, and try again. So let's see what we're looking like on the outside now. Yep, all the weight has come onto here. That's sturdy. Condenser didn't get damaged at all. It's not moving around anything. Yeah, I think we're pretty good here. This got messed up. We'll pull that right back out right quick. And that's it. That's all that happened during the install. That's pretty good. Alright. That was tough. But we got it. Now, what I might have to do is, and I'll maybe wait for Kevin to stop by or something, is I might have to take it back out and stuff some insulation in here. Or I can just stuff some insulation myself with the little foam strips or something, because there is a gap there.
and that's enough for air to come in and bugs to come in, so we got to close that up for sure. You know, if I just get the thin foam strip and jam it in there, that might be good enough. Yeah, I'll go pick some up and that should solve that problem. Okay, let's see what we can do to fix that a little bit. Normally I wouldn't be too fussy about it, but since this coil is in as bad a condition as it is, I don't want to lose even that much more of it. It's 13 per inch. Coil's just tearing as I go through here, and I'm going very gently. I know how to use the tool. Some people just rip through the coil, and that's not the way you're supposed to use it. I'm going as gently as I can. It's still just ripping apart. So we might just call it. I've spent probably over an hour trying to fix this coil already. This whole thing was just flat. It was awful. But at least the way it is now is workable. So lastly, we'll take this grounding screw that I did not use yet, and we'll bond the chassis to the base pan for whatever reason. Throw the screw driving apparatus in an area that I can't reach. Okay, it's covered in junk. Okay, gross. This is awfully long, and it's very tight. Now let's see if the guard fits on any better. I think it might fit fine, because see, there's two tabs up there, and I think it's going to grab those tabs. And then this, just stick that right there. You know what? I want to recalibrate this before I call this finalized. Let's just pull that thermostat off of there and recalibrate it. But I want to be able to turn this down to like 55. Because when you're working outside doing something, you come in here, it's just makes that cold. Normally I don't ever run machines that cold, but this feels real nice and solid. I like the way this install is. Alright, I don't think that we can get to the thermostat completely from the front, but I'll give it a shot. We might be able to. Actually, you know what I can do? I have some weather stripping material upstairs that's got sticky side on it. I might be able to just stick it on here where this other foam was and slip it back in. That's an option too. This is not really supposed to open up like a door, but I'm just going to do it anyways. This came detached. Well, guess what? We're just going to stick that in the back like that. That's a dumb useless feature anyways that I'll never use. Don't even need that feature. Alright, so if we just unscrew the thermostat here, we should be able to reach the calibration screw and turn that down. Stupid vent knob is causing grief here. just need 2 small Phillips to release the thermostat. I kind of just busted up the thermostat, so we're just going to set this up for continuous run. So we're going to take the thermostat off of the switch, and we're going to replace the thermostat with this wire that goes to it. So this will simulate the thermostat just always calling for cooling, which in this application is fine. Maybe if I'll, put a thermostat in here if I grab them apart or something somewhere. That what just fell, I think, was the screw that was in there. I adjusted it a little bit too far, and it just kind of went downhill from there. So we're gonna just kind of ignore that, patch everything back up, and turn the machine on. It's just as well, because I was thinking about replacing it with a thermostat that has constant run anyways, and most of the time that's how I'd use it. I'm going to have 2 smaller units in here that are quite capable of regulating the temperature on their own, even just one of them. So we don't need this to be able to regulate the temperature. This is just for extreme cooling capabilities. All right. Now there's nothing to put the knob onto, but it is what it is. I'll put the knob somewhere else so you can lose it. Let's get the front cover. Oh, we gotta slide it back in all the way first. Let's see if this goes on nicely this time. I think it will. It did, it grabbed. So it grabs it grabs to the actual chassis itself, not the conditioner. Stupid wire messed up here. Why do we need to even bind the whole thing in the first place when it's already going to be bonded through contact? But that's a whole different story. Now this is not going down on this side. There it goes. And it looks like these screws. It looks like these screws are like one of those slide things. It's not all the way down, but I think it needs to be. The whole thing is getting a little ghetto anyways. I'm not too worried about the exact positioning of the cover. As long as it's there and it doesn't rattle, that's about as far as I'm concerned with it. And the door has to open and close properly as well, which it seems to be. That's all, whatever, but put the handle in. That could be part of the problem too. Well, I think we're going to call it right there. So let's go ahead and plug this in and turn it on. I want to let this run for a while before I close the door because well, that coil cleaner on the styrofoam, I want to let that air out. Drop some screws on the floor if I can't find them, but they were only for that busted thermostat, so they're not really critical. Eventually I'll put an outlet right here, and this can just go and plug right in, but for now we'll plug it in like this. I think we said last time the common side was the textured side. And we'll make sure that it's grounded as well. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Fan's not hitting anything, so that's good. There goes the compressor. Wow, it's already cold. That's quick for a rotary. Maybe someday I'll fix all this. That's just so ridiculous to me. I wonder how the levelness is. You know that everything's in place. We can adjust the levelness slightly, but probably not too much. Actually, that's perfect. No need to adjust anything. Put airflow here. Alright, we'll let that do its thing. We'll come back in a little while. I'll leave the door and everything open just to let everything air out. Put it to high fan and let it run. The machine's been running for about an hour now. 10.23 amps, 1170 watts, the power factor of 0.97, 10.28, that's at 73 degrees. It might draw close to 12 on a regular day with 80 or 90 degrees out, and that should be expected because you're really packing a lot of cooling power out of a 15 amp 110 circuit with something like this. So I am ecstatic with the operation of this machine. Something's rattling here. We can troubleshoot that at a later time. It's so quiet. And the refrigerant sound is very loud. This is just excellent equipment. Absolutely excellent equipment. for a not humid day, it's pulling a lot of moisture. And it looks like there's some water that finally started to come out on the other side. I don't know, maybe that's just the return line sweating, but it is what it is. I think most of the water's coming out on this side. I'll deal with these things anytime. There's another noise that goes away when you hold the top down. Some kind of like squeaky sound. So we can troubleshoot that at some point as well, but for the most part this is good to go. This is sturdy. Very, very quiet on the inside and the outside. Doesn't add a lot of noise pollution to the yard. So there we go, it's huge. I think get that installed because that saves a lot of space here in the garage. As I'm going to be reformatting the way that the air conditioners are stored, I want to consider how many can be installed permanently like this one, so that I don't have to allocate storage space. Plus it's a lot better to have it set up where it could actually be used as opposed to just sitting idle on the shelf. So one more install, we got quite a few left to go, but I'm not sure when it's going to happen. The ones upstairs are a much bigger undertaking than this. So now we got this, we'll see how well it works. I have a feeling it might cool way too quickly, but that's to be expected. This is more of a, you know, I wouldn't run this all the time just to pull the moisture out. I run this only on certain occasions where I want it really cold in here, and I think for that purpose it'll work very well. Or we might find that it pulls moisture just as well as the carrier, and you know, you run it and then shut it off. Who knows? We'll see. More videos on this one to come.